Alright guys, welcome back. So we're looking at level working in TBC. It's going to be an interesting one, or maybe not so interesting because everyone's going to be level working. But I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to look at some other bits that you can make as well, because it's not all about drums. Maybe it is. But anyway, before we get too far, make sure you like, subscribe, obviously, so you don't miss any content. It helps the channel grow. Loving the support here and over on Twitch. So if I've not mentioned it before, which I probably have mentioned it once or twice in a few videos, I stream over on Twitch pretty much 7 days a week. It's a good laugh, you know, so come and get involved in some drunken banter and some TBC gameplay, Wrath of the Lich King even as well a little bit now. Links down below, straight to the channel, but yep, you can follow me at ScottyJ87 over on Twitch. That'd be much appreciated, thank you very much. But level working. Let's talk about the basics first, so the specializations that you can go. Now, the specializations you're going to go will depend on your class and spec, actually, more important than class. So you've got Dragon Scale, which is mainly for shamans and hunters. And when I say shamans, I mean enhancement shamans. Then you've got Elemental, which is pretty much for your ferals and your rogues, because you can make the Primal Strike set, which we'll take a look at when we jump in game. And then you've got Tribal, which is really just for boomkins, to be fair, or druids. Let's say druids that are not feral, because the good thing about the Tribal set is it's quite a hybrid set. You can heal in it, you can use it for your healing gear, and you can use it for your boomkin gear. So it's quite nice, but it's not actually as good as the tailoring set if you're just going, you know, min-max pure damage. But as a level worker anyway, I would make it and use it for both specs because it's still reasonably good. Now, the main reason to be level working, I don't need to tell you, is for drums. I think it's almost going to be a requirement for raids. So top end raiding guilds will want 4 level workers in each group in their 25-man. Why? So you can have a permanent 5% haste buff, which is massive. You know, 5% haste up 100% of the time during a fight. There is an add-on that you can use, which I'll show you as well. Mainly, it's just to keep the order going, you know, so it's to make sure you know when you're meant to be using yours and when it's off cooldown. It's just nice and visual. And let's face it, even if it weren't level working, let's say it was herbalism. Say herbalism had a cooldown for your party that gave a haste buff. The expectation would be that everybody's herbalism, because there's no other profession that brings something this big. Arguably, maybe engineering for bombs and sappers and stuff like that, which obviously you've seen it in Classic. Everybody, you know, every top raiding guild, they've got numerous amounts of engineers because it's free damage. Why wouldn't you do it? And this is a free haste buff, so why wouldn't you do it? As I say, the expectation is going to be there where I'd say 80% of your guild is going to be level working. Bit boring, I know, but, you know, let's face it, it's definitely worth it. Outside of drums, I'll be frank, there's not really that much that you're going to be worried about. The sets are really nice, but let's face it, if you're a mage and you're going level working for the drums, you're not really going to make anything with level working. Whereas if you're a feral or a rogue, you know, the set's nice. If you're an enhancement shaman hunter, it's nice. If you're a boomy, it's nice. And if you're melee, you can make your own leg enchants as well, which is nice, which we'll have a look at those when we jump into game. But overall, I would just say level working is massive. It's going to, as I say, it's going to be a requirement, so you might as well, when we're in the build-up period to TBC actually launching, which obviously, as of this moment in time, yes, it's not been announced officially, but we know it's coming. But you might want to get yourself level working, maybe even skinning level working maxed, and then obviously skin throughout Outland, max your level working, drop your skin in, pick up engineering, alchemy, blacksmithing, whatever you want to go with it. So let's jump into game and we'll just have a quick look at some of the things you can make. This is going to be quite a short video because, as I say, really, the only thing we're interested in here is the drums. And they've got 50 charges as well, by the way, so it's not like, you know, you're going to have to do massive amounts of farming. They're quite easy. They don't take a lot to make, so you're not going to be out farming constantly to get drums. You can, once you've got level working, you can probably just buy them off the auction house and not even worry about crafting them yourself. That's what I would do personally. But as I say, let's jump into game and let's have a look at some of the stuff we can make. Right, okay guys, so we're in game now, obviously. So we're going to have a look at what each of the specializations can make first. We're not really going to talk about anything pre-300 except for one item. That's because, obviously, we all know leveling your professions as you're leveling is quite beneficial, because you can make yourself, you know, especially if you're a rogue or something, you know, that can really utilize level working, and you're going to be skinning stuff, making yourself some gear, keeping, you know, your power, if you want to call it your power, sort of relative to your level, so your gear is up to date with your level. I made that sound really difficult. But the one item I will mention is Wolf's Head Helm, because Wolf's Head Helm is still gonna have value. So if you're going to be going tribal level working, so if you're a druid, ultimately is the only person who's going to be going tribal, but that's quite fortunate really, because if you was feral, you're using feral DPS as your off spec or something like that, then, you know, Wolf's Head Helm is still going to be used. I thought that was just worth mentioning. But we'll start with the epic set, which is really nice. So this is the one from Tribal where I was talking about in the intro about it really being just for druids, but it's a good sort of hybrid set because you're getting your crit, spell damage, but you're also then getting plus healing, which subsequently also gives plus damage. So you're getting 23 spell damage on the belt, but you're also getting an extra 14 from the healing side of it as well. Because the free set gives you 8 mana per 5, which is nice. It's nice for both Resto and Boomkin. It's not the strongest set bonus, obviously, but the set overall is quite nice. As I say, if you're going proper hardcore min-maxing Boomkin, then you'd be going tailoring anyway. But if you're level working and you want to make this, I mean, what would be really a good idea, or what I would do, if I was going tailoring, I was like min-maxing, I would probably pick one of the other specializations anyway over this for off-spec gear, personally. But overall, nice set. You got your spell crit on all 3 pieces. Obviously, massive sort of spell damage on the chest, as you would expect. But yeah, overall, a nice set, basically. Then if we look at, what was that? So that was Tribal. So if we have a look at Elemental. So Elemental, we're not worried about the blue stuff. It's, we don't care about that, do we? We're going Elemental level working for drums and ultimately for the Primal Strike set. So this is nice. This is really nice. Actually, I've got this on my Feral Druid and it's banging because you get so much hit, attack power. It's a lot of attack power. And then obviously the free set bonus as well is another 40 attack power. So, as I say, really, really nice. Lots of agility. Just great stats. Great stats. The expensive part of making these is obviously primal mites. So you need 5 for the belt. 4. Oh, no. 3, sorry. 3 for the bracers. And then 6 for the vest. Now, you're going to be looking at these being at least 100 gold each, I would say. Probably more to begin with. But it's going to be worth the investment because you will wear this set for a decent amount of time, definitely through tier 4 at least. But then you've also got the added hassle, I'm going to say, of needing a Primal Nether. So you need a Primal Nether you don't need it for the bracers, but you need it for the belt and for the chest. You need 2. So overall, you're going to need 3 anyway, which they drop from the last bosses of dungeons on Heroic, which has got a 100% chance to drop, and then a small chance from level 70 bosses on regular difficulty. But again, ultimately for a rogue, if I was a rogue or a feral druid, I would be going elemental level working. So I've got the drums, and then I've got that nice sort of starter few pieces that are really strong and going to carry me in Karazhan, basically. Then Dragon Scale. So Dragon Scale is quite interesting, actually, because, this is aimed at all shamans. So that's elemental and enhancement, and also hunters. So the hunter set, you would use as an enhancement shaman, but if you're elemental, you can use the elemental set. So me personally, no matter what spec shaman I was playing, I would go Dragon Scale level working, just so you can actually make, even if you're a resto main spec, you can make both of your off-spec pieces from one profession, which is quite nice. So as a shaman, you're getting both sets. You're getting your enhancement set and your elemental set, and both are really, really nice. They're the main things. They're absolutely the main things. And I've already shown you drums sort of during the intro when we was outside of the game. So outside of the the specializations, there is going to be some bits that you're going to make, particularly sort of tier 5, tier 6 recipes that drop. So even these, like for the druids, you have to get the recipe from raids, but some of them are BOE, so you can make an absolute fortune as well from them. But I'm not going to go over those too much. I'd like to just show you, though, obviously the leg enchants. So I spoke about them in the intro. You've got like Nether Cobra leg armor, which increases your attack power by 50 and crit by 12. So that's nice. And then you've got the other side, which you would use as like a feral tank, for example. 40 stamina and 12 agility. But yeah, all tanks will be using this. There's no other leg enchant outside of your level workers. So you're going to be useful, and you can make some really good pre-bis gear. Like the heavy cleft hoof leggings. If you're a druid, the full set is amazing. You're not far off crit immune from the set and the gems that you get. It's a good profession overall. But the main reason, let me just find them again for you. Obviously, you have got other drums, actually. I could probably mention that for you. Some of the drums are quite interesting. So like this one increases movement speed of nearby party members by 15%. So a 15% movement boost, that might come in handy. I can't see where you would use that over the haste, obviously. But still, in niche situations, you might find it useful. There's another one Drums of Restoration, which gives 600 health and mana to nearby party members over 15 seconds. Also good, and also usable. All of these drums, by the way, are usable while shapeshifted, so you haven't got to power shift macro for drums or anything like that, which is really nice. The drums of battle, let me just show you the drums of battle, which I know we've looked at already, but you're going to be looking at them a lot when you go level working. So it increases melee range and spell haste on nearby party members by 80, so it works out to be 5% haste. So as I say, this is why you're going level working for these drums. They're crazy. 5%. And as I say, if you've got 4 out of 5 in a party, you keep it up 100% of the time. So it's just a 5% static haste buff. Needs a slight little bit of managing, but obviously that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to leave it there. You've seen sort of the sets that you can make and what class you might want to be to go each specialization, so to speak. And then a few other bits, like Wolf's Head Helm and that. I hope you found it useful. It's as I say, level working was always going to be quite a short one because there are limited reasons to go level working, and as I say, the main one is drums. But I'm still working through these professions. If you've watched till the end, thank you for the support as well. We've hit 2K, I think, as of today, but probably might lose some people when I release this video. You never know. But I am streaming over on Twitch, as I said at the start, ScottyJ87 over on Twitch, so links in the description. Come over and watch me. Most of my YouTube content is TBC, but I'm actually getting sort of ready for Shadowlands now, so I'm streaming quite a lot of retail. So if you want to see a noob playing retail, honestly, I don't have a clue what I'm doing over there because I've not played for 2 years, maybe even longer. Obviously, I had a brief stint for a couple of weeks recently, but that was it. So, yeah, that's me. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. You're embarrassing me in front of all my friends. Oh, just poked me in the eye as well. Oh, it scared the life out of me. What? Walked round the corner and got shot in the face.